The presenting sponsor of Moontower Soccer is FVF Law.
To find out what makes FVF a different kind of injury law firm, you can visit fvf.law.
I used to always make you smile, but now I struggle with the dial. Don't as I try to call your number. You remind me of a
Hello, friends, and welcome to Swoontower Soccer podcast. I'm your host, Stephanie Cragnola.
And I'm Mike Cragnola.
Woo! We did it!
It only took us so many tries.
To get the intro right or to get married?
Yep.
Yes, to both. Now, I do want to briefly apologize for the quality of my sound today. I'm stuck in the COVID prison planet. So we are doing this a little different this week, but we're hoping to bring you the same fun content, including some recaps from our recent away matches, as well as home versus Frisco the night before our wedding. We're going to talk about some match scots. We're going to talk about some pre-match fit checks, some social media standouts, and as always, we will name the man of my jersey for this Swoontower session.
Oh yeah, you didn't even put the man of your jersey on the show notes, so I don't even know who it's going to be. I'm so excited to find out.
It is going to be a surprise to everyone, Mike.
Great. I can't wait to see. So yeah, we should probably address the elephant in the room, which is that there is not going to be a dog interview this week.
I know.
So the mascot of the match at Frisco, remember way back to the 25th of June, was Marla. And Marla was so cute, and I was so excited to get to interview her because for the match, I took my groomsmen to the match together as kind of a celebration and a thank you to them for being involved in my wedding. I was so excited, and I was so excited to interview a dog with some of my best friends in the whole world. And so I texted Susie, our contact at APA, who is incredible, and she let me know that Marla would not be taking questions, Steph.
Oh no. She a nervous pup?
No. The best news, as they were walking Marla around the stadium, she got adopters.
Stop.
Yeah, so
At the match?
yeah, so when she was walking around, apparently a family met Marla and filled out the paperwork to adopt her, like, while they were there.
Oh my goodness. That's amazing. Congratulations, Marla.
Yeah, congratulations to Marla. I'm sorry to all of us, because like my first thought obviously was my content, my listeners. What about them? What about me? But I did get a little bit of a an update, I guess you could say, a pup date from Susie, who let us know that Marla did get to meet Jeremiah Bentley from Moontower Soccer podcast.
The Jeremiah Bentley?
The very same one, the one from the commercials, Steph.
Wow.
Yeah. Also Jeremiah's son. Marla got pets from Lee, one of the supporters, who has a solid pre-match tradition of petting the dog. And when he pets the mascot of the match, Austin FC scores a goal. So Susie was very excited that Marla got to meet Lee. Marla also got to meet Pollo and Pollo's parents, Trevor and Rachel. And so pretty much the perfect day out for Marla. She got to meet almost all of the Austin FC fan celebrities that we've got, except for you and me. And she'll be adopted by a couple at the match.
That's amazing. I love that.
Cool. Sorry to the listeners not getting to meet Marla, but we didn't want to break your hearts by interviewing this incredible dog and you not being able to adopt her. Good news is you can go back in the archives, listen to some of the other mascots of the match from this season who are still available. And so...
And if you follow Brad Stuver on any social media, you'll know that he and his wife are fostering a little pup named Limeade right now.
Limeade. I would
Oh my
die for
goodness.
you, Limeade.
So if you are in the market for adopting your best new friend, check out Brad's socials. You'll find all of the adoption information there. And of course, just look at Austin Pets Alive. They've got dogs, they've got cats, they've got so many sweet, sweet babies that if you want to enrich your life, you can.
I haven't heard an update on Vinny D yet, so he may also still be available. Check out the website for the latest updates on Vin Diesel. And Brad, Ashley, if y'all are listening, we would love to interview Limeade for the show. So
Yes,
feel free to get back to us wherever you like, however is easiest.
Yeah, so that I missed a lot during that Frisco match. I was watching from Hop Squad, and I want to say the best part about watching from Hop Squad is that, so I'm a person, this is something that makes Mike a little bananas, but I love spoilers.
Oh,
I'm an anxious person, and I love when I have a little heads up of what's coming. That's in TV shows. I love promos for movies. I love getting to have a glimpse of what the vibe is going to be like before I experience something. I want to know what characters are going to die so that I can mentally prepare myself. I watched the 300 once, and at the beginning of the movie, I looked at the person I was watching with and I said, "How many of these people survive this movie?" And he said, "None." And I said, "Turn it off." Because I knew I was going to get emotionally connected to all 300 of them, and I couldn't handle that stress. So the best part, I promise this is a point, the best part about watching at Hop Squad is that you can hear the stadium erupt when we score a goal before the streams are updated. So you're on a 2-minute delay or whatever, and especially when we're coming back from behind, it was amazing to have that little reassurance that things were going to be okay because we had just scored a goal, and now I know to focus my attention and make sure I catch it. So I really, really loved that. I also just love Hop Squad in general. It was so cool. We had probably 30 or 40 people there, and getting to sit and watch and experience that with a bunch of our friends and family who are in town for the wedding was really very cool and very sweet. And thank you, Hop Squad, for having the space and place to do that.
yeah. What is it like at a home match at Hop Squad? Can you hear like La Murga? Can you hear like what's it like?
We could hear tiny bits of La Murga at points, but not really. Honestly, I expected the crowd noise to be a lot louder, but I think for the benefit of local residents, it's probably good that it you can't hear everything that's happening in real time. But
I mean, it's pretty far. Like, so yeah.
it's great when we score. For the rest of it, it kind of was like a little dull, like a dull roar,
Sure.
that all blended together.
Okay. Cool. Because
But
yeah,
the
I've
space
always
was
wondered.
great.
Well, sure, yeah.
Well, and just because I think I had only been to Hop Squad for away matches and for pre-match with Almurga, and it's so busy and it's so crowded before, and then everyone filters out. And I think people coming to watch a match might get intimidated by how busy it is before the parade over, and then it kind of clears out. But there are some really great fans there. A couple of my friends from Massachusetts talked to Ulysses. If you're listening, they love you. They talked to an Austin FC fan named Ulysses for 2.5 hours, and
Awesome.
it was incredible. It's a great place to obviously be around people, to watch the match if you want to take in the misting fans if you are a little warm, maybe not from Austin, and have some good drinks and good times.
I was lucky enough to take 5 people who have never been to a professional soccer match before into the stadium with me.
None of them had been
None of them had
to any.
been. Oh, I guess my nephew had been to the U.S. women's team opening Q2 stadium with us. But other than that, and I think the U.S. matches are just a very different vibe than an Austin
yeah.
FC match. And to the point that halfway through the match, my nephew, who is more of an esports guy than a real sports guy, looked at me and said, I need to know all the words to all the songs immediately. I'm missing out on the music part of this, and I hate it because I love this so much. And
That's
so,
awesome.
yeah, like watching people who are very much not sports people get really invested in the game was really fun. At about 2-0 down, like as soon as that second goal went in, my nephew looked at me and goes, "Why did you take us to this one?"
Why couldn't
Why?
why couldn't you have gotten married the day after a win?
Right. Yeah, exactly. And I was like, just give it time, man. There's time left. There's time left. We could do it. And so then the first goal goes in, and I looked at him and I said, "See, I told you, it's on now." And then the second goal went in, and I was like, "Let's go. We're going to do it. We're going to do it." And we got so close a few times to scoring that third goal. By the end of it, he was like, "I can't believe we almost did it." And he used "we." And that's
Yeah.
how I knew I had him, you know?
Yeah, I love that. It seemed like everyone had a great time. I don't know how you cannot, but it
Right.
was really nice to get to see y'all living your best bachelor lives.
Special shout out, by the way, to Stephanie, who bought me a night before my wedding beer, only to find out I don't drink. My groomsmen, however, do drink, and we're very appreciative of free alcohol. So thank you a million times. Thank you. It was so very sweet and so appreciated.
Yeah, that was super sweet.
I did have one really big frustration with this match, though, Steph.
Oh, okay.
Brandon Cervania from Frisco scoring a goal at Q2 and doing Maxi's Archer celebration. Look, I get it.
No.
Yeah, it was. Oh, I get it. Like, Maxi, A, has played everywhere. B, the Archer celebration isn't unique to him, right? C, Brandon has said that he does that celebration because of Maxi. And so, like, I get that there's a lot to it, but, like, doing it at the guy's, like, current
In his house?
team's home stadium, right, in his house. And, like, I get that
You're gonna
Maxi's lived
Archer
all over
against
now.
Maxi
Right.
in
That's
his
what I'm trying-
home?
Like, and I probably wouldn't care if it wasn't Frisco that did it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But, like,
Yep.
the rivalry, Copa Tejas, the whole thing, like, I was heated in the moment. I was yelling about it in the stands. All of my groomsmen were like, "No, that's my favorite move that has ever happened. What a wrestling heel." They were
I was
like so
gonna-
in on it.
I
Yeah.
was gonna say so many of them are wrestling fans that it makes perfect sense that they would love that.
Right, exactly. I almost body slammed all of them for not respecting my anger, but you know, some of them are big boys. I would have needed the crowd to pump me up to be able to do it. That's all
Yep.
I'm saying.
No better place for that though.
But man, what a fun match. It was a really good time. And afterward, going back to Hop Squad to celebrate, even without you being there because you bailed early, was still really nice.
I was sleepy.
I had something to do the next day.
I had an important day coming up and I wanted to get some rest.
Yeah, so the day after Frisco, we got married. I figure we should probably like just give a couple of seconds of airtime to that, right?
A little Swoontower wedding recap.
Yeah. It was awesome. It was the best party I've ever been to. And I don't know, I just really loved it, and we're getting photos and stuff, and they're so amazing. And I showed one of our friends today, Chris, who you know in the stands as the guy with the green Guy Fawkes mask and the gold Speedo. I showed him the pictures today, and he almost cried. And so that's how I knew there were pretty good pictures of a pretty good party.
It was a great party. We even found a way to squeeze in some Austin FC fan moments.
Yep. We got to sing "I Love You, Baby." Da 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 da. We got
And
to
then
do
in the limo
play Pepas.
the limo going back to the hotel because we put Pippas on our playlist, our Spotify playlist that we gave the DJ. And we almost didn't, but I have one friend and I was like, hey, if I said Pippas, do you know what song I'm talking about? And he was like, yes, absolutely. Yes. So that was enough for us to put it on our list because one other person knew it. Didn't play it. So when we had control of Spotify in the limo going back, we did play Pippas. It was incredible. So we've got a couple of videos up
It was
on
a
Twitter.
good time. Everyone else didn't understand how we knew all the words, and then we told them that we weren't singing the words to Pepas, and we tried to teach them they weren't of a sound mind to learn.
My dad got super into Bella Ciao in the limo back, though. That's his favorite Austin FC chant. So, we made it work.
We made it work. After, I guess now, go back to soccer, right? Probably is the right move here.
Probably.
And we can do a real quick recap of the away matches, Charlotte and Colorado this week, and then we can start kind of talking about some outfits and stuff like that.
Yeah, the real meat of our show.
That's right. The quality that everyone comes for.
So Charlotte, my favorite part was getting our box to box with Teen Wolf right before. I love the box to box because it's so awkward.
Too. Yes.
It's so wholesome and awkward. You only have a finite amount of time that depends on how fast you're walking. So it's like rapid fire questions without the aggression that sometimes rapid fire questions get. It's a just good chance to kind of do a little walk and talk and get, the real journalism. I feel like our Swoontower style of question is starting to catch on because the best one of the night is when he asked if Teen Wolf had seen Teen Wolf.
Yeah. So the question started with, how do you feel about your nickname?
Yeah.
And Teen Wolf said, well, now that I've seen the movie, I really like it.
I like the part where he turns into a wolf.
It's just so sweet. It's like, sometimes you forget these boys are 17 years old, right? Like, in Teen Wolf's case, 17-year-old boy, right? Like,
yep.
And that answer is just so 17-year-old kid, like on the spot, like, I have to prove that I watched this movie.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah,
it's like a book report, right? Like,
that's exactly what I was going to say. Any one of my students who has maybe Spark Notes the book and they're like, oh yeah, I like when Hamlet says to be or not to be.
Yeah. Like my favorite part of Holes is when he's digging the hole.
Yeah, yeah. Yep. Incredible.
Yeah, I really liked that. That whole part was just so good. Also, the rest of that interview, he's so the coach's son.
Yes. Always.
Like, he says a lot of words that don't give a lot away, very Josh Wolf style of like, head down, gotta compete, ruthless verticality, like the buzzwords. He hits them all in the interview. It's awesome.
Amazing.
So really, I just love that segment so much.
Yeah.
So
in the actual match,
I think that's probably,
go ahead.
I was just going to say, that's probably my favorite part of the away match experience is getting to watch box to box because we miss it for all the home matches.
You know what my favorite part of the away match experience is? We'll get there. It's when we win.
I actually don't. Oh, sure.
It's when we win and we get our photo.
Yeah, that's fair.
So in the actual
moving
match,
into the actual match, what?
There was one moment that was so wholesome and sad and beautiful and just kind of really shows what an incredibly close relationship these boys have with each other. And that's when Romagna came off the field. It was sad. Ooh. He clearly was upset. He clearly was, he was not feeling well. He had gotten hit in the head.
Yeah, he jumped up for a ball and smacked heads with a Charlotte player, and you could tell, like, I guess apparently he like passed all the concussion protocols and stuff like that, but like something was off, and
Yeah.
he needed to come off the field in the second half.
And when Ruben Gabrielson and Brad Stuver went over to him and hugged him, and like it was clear that they were just being there for him in a really pure and emotional way. It broke my heart and filled my heart at the same time.
Yeah, seeing Johan's face just gutted me. He's so emotive,
Mhm.
and we're so used to seeing him smile and be happy and joyous, and seeing this other half of like the heartbreak that clearly he's been working really hard to get back into the team, and he gets a shot and something happens and he can't keep playing, and just seeing what it meant to him to have to come off and seeing the support from his teammates was just so pure and wonderful.
Yep.
Oof.
Another pure, wonderful moment that's happier. Danny Pereira.
Yeah, shortly after that too. Yeah. So this was my highlight of the match, was watching Danny just rocket the snot out of the ball in front of all his friends and like his family. They all made the trip down to Charlotte to see him. You know, those East Coast matches are a lot closer to get to than Texas, and so they traveled out in force. Like there's a whole contingent of them. And so as soon as he scored that goal, you saw his whole face light up in like the biggest, happiest smile as he like is half celebrating and half doesn't know what his celebration should be. And so he does just like this jumping, like happy thing. It was just so cute and so fun. And then the post-match video that they put out showed him like running over to his family at full time and like celebrating with them and signing shirts for friends and stuff. Like it was just so cute and so sweet.
Yeah, and hey, listen, I think that as a podcast, we have a service we could maybe start to offer. And for these young players who maybe haven't settled on their goal ceremony yet, their celebration, what they do, they're not an established archer. They don't really have the snake thing going yet. They're trying to find their identity in goal celebration. Maybe we could offer consulting. Like Swoontower consultants sounds really good, and we can workshop.
Yeah.
We can get to the practice
Different
pitch.
cellies.
Yes, yeah, we can, test out some things. We can really, you and I can work to develop new concept for what a goal celebration should and can look like. I think.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah, this is a good train of thought, I think. We should probably, if you're listening, feel free to hit us up on the internet and we will describe some celebrations for you. Maybe we can meet up and show you some ideas that we've got. We've got a lot of good ideas all the time, and this is just the latest in those good ideas.
Yeah, Moontower Soccer on
Speaking-
Twitter.
Yeah. Make sure to hit up Landon and Jeremiah and tell them you want to talk to Steph and Mike.
Oh,
They
hey,
love that.
We have a golden ticket to their Twitter now. So mom and dad gave us the keys to the car and we're ready to drive it.
I'm nervous to drive it.
I'm not.
I haven't posted anything yet because I'm scared.
I haven't because I'm trapped in the
What?
COVID prison planet.
I am hopeful. We got off track because we started
Yeah,
talking
sorry.
about Twitter, but I want to get back to celebrations because I think it's the perfect blend into the Colorado match. I'm going to skip over a lot of the match to talk about the second half goal celebration from Maxi, where so he does that amazing goal where it gets called back for a handball. After he's done the Archer celebration, his iconic celebration, and they like zoom in super close on the screen and it looks so cool and it's so good. And then they call it back. And so his second celebration is drawing the VAR symbol, and clearly yelling about yeah, check that one. It was so good.
So incredible. Such a troll move. And also just spur of the moment. Oh God, it was amazing.
Yeah, incredible goal. This one we had to watch in the backyard because of COVID Prison Planet. So I bought a projector for us and we like projected the game onto a sheet in the backyard, and it was super fun.
It was really fun.
I'm not gonna lie, I had a really good time.
Yeah.
Even though you were far away and I couldn't high five you when we scored all those goals.
It was really nice, and it was great to get to watch it on a bigger screen than my phone. And I love getting to watch those goals on a bigger screen than my phone, let me tell you, because they were bangers.
Yeah, and they came at the perfect times, I feel like. You know, the first two coming just before, the second one coming like right at the end of the half.
Yeah.
So good for the vibes.
So good for the vibes. Yeah, you were talking
you
a little bit about
imagine?
the locker room.
Yeah, could you imagine going into the locker room as the other team, right? Who just gave up a game-tying goal the second before the half? Like, oof.
Yeah.
They must have felt real bad. Sorry, Colorado.
They must have, but either way, I think it was great vibes for us, especially those vibes going into the recording for our video, our our personal video
Our
that
video.
we get.
Yeah. The video for
Our video.
all of us, the fans.
Yes, our picture, our video. We had some great video and picture moments this Swoontower cycle. Do you want to start with
Yeah.
your favorites of those, or do you want to let me?
You take yours.
Okay. First of all, Hector Jimenez's baby in one of the locker room photos is the greatest thing I've ever seen in my whole life.
His kid's so cute.
So cute.
Just the biggest eyes. Like,
Yeah.
so cute.
And I imagine we've seen the video footage of kind of the transition into that picture. So how overwhelming for a toddler that environment must be. And I think you can see in his face in like some of the alternate. We got two photos from Charlotte. You can see his face kind of like, what is happening?
Yeah. Those big eyes get even bigger somehow.
Yeah.
I will say, though, that kid is like a star this week or the
Mhm.
past 2 weeks, because after the Frisco match, he's out on the field dancing. It was the cutest thing. We were singing, I love you, baby, in the stands. And like this kid loving every second of it, clapping and dancing. He's the only one, right? The rest of the players are still making their way around the pitch, or they're like, talking to the Dallas players or whatever. Mateo, Hector's baby, was just in there looking at the supporters, dancing and clapping. It's so precious. It's so amazing. I think the kids coming out with their dads is like the most heartwarming thing.
Yeah, it's a lot. Let's move on.
Oh my gosh. I forgot, after the Frisco match, they had a unified team, which is the Austin FC Special Olympics team, play a match at Q2, and a bunch of the players stayed and joined the supporters section to cheer on the kids.
So
Like, so
sweet.
cute, so sweet, so precious. Just what good guys we've got.
Yeah, we're very lucky.
It was
Very,
just
very
so
lucky.
neat to see. Like Alex Ring was in there, Ruben Gabrielson, Danny was in there. Like, I think Jean was in there too. I think I saw a picture of Jean Kolmanich in the crowd. Like, Brad Stuver was giving the goalkeeper like
Oh,
tips and advice and like cheering him on the side. Right. Like, just,
all right,
Diego
Mike.
was like everybody. Right.
Mike, we've talked a lot about our boys' hearts so far this episode. Let's get back to talking about their bodies. Like, I think my heart's gonna burst. So let's
right.
take it back
What do
a
you got?
notch from the.
We gonna go to
sincere-
to some fit checks.
Let's go to some fit
We
checks.
gonna do some
I wanna
outfit checks.
keep us moving along. I don't want to get us, too off topic from our brand.
All right. I feel like our brand encompasses everything, but you know what? If we're anything here, we are Julio stands.
Yes, we are.
That man does not put a foot wrong when he's getting dressed before a match.
Oh my gosh.
No one can stop him.
He's so
No one.
Cool. Cool is the best word I have for
Yes.
Julio in his pre-match fits.
Like, I feel like Pharrell calls Julio Cascante to be like, hey, what's cool? And Julio's like, man, if I have to tell you, you'll never know. You know what I mean? Like, he just...
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah, he's effortless. I did like Maxi's like all picnic table, small checks, head to toe fit though. And
Yeah,
I don't know.
I
if
couldn't
it's
tell what the
because-
pattern was.
Yeah, I think it was like a seersucker plaid, not plaid, gingham.
Is that what it is?
I think.
I can't tell.
I think it's.
I
what it
can't tell
is.
from the picture. I also don't know patterns, and so if you're listening and you remember Maxi's outfit from the match in Frisco, or from the match in Austin against Frisco, let us know what that pattern is. My textile friends, my fabrics friends, hit us up on the internet and let us know where we are wrong.
I want to say it's a tight gingham, but I definitely could be wrong.
Yeah, there's a lot of jokes I want to make, and we are a family show. And so I am just going to say I also appreciate that outfit. I did really like the length of his pants, and that is something that I personally thought I wouldn't be able to pull off. It's kind of like, I don't know, probably 3-4 inches above the shoe top. And then I looked at where my pants sat for my suit, and it's pretty close.
Yeah.
It's not quite that high, but it's pretty close. And I looked pretty good on our wedding day. And so
You looked
maybe I
amazing.
could pull that off. Hey, thanks. You looked amazing.
Hey, thanks. Let's talk about haircuts. Speaking of the day of our wedding, things
Honestly,
that some of us did.
can we please talk about the haircuts? Because Diego got a cool thing shaved in his head. Like, Maxi's got that lightning bolt going on. Like, we got cool stuff going on in haircut land.
Yeah, and especially now that we've confirmed that the haircuts happen on the premises, that there's an Austin FC barber of sorts, I think that barber deserves some credit. So if you're listening, give us a shout, and we'll do a little feature.
Great job.
Yeah, you're doing a great
That
job.
would be so fun. Honestly, that would be awesome. If you're the barber for Austin FC, let's get you on the show and talk about what your inspiration is for some of these haircuts, because they're awesome. They all look so good, and we're so lucky.
Yeah, we are.
Like, I do think it all started with the like two shaved lines thing that we saw Danny and Seba rocking for a little bit, and then things started to kind of escalate from there. Remember Felipe's like cool double V in the back of his head thing?
Yeah.
And then now we've got lightning bolts and shapes and all sorts of stuff. I'm telling you, I think people are getting geared up for the World Cup.
Hey, the barber is like the customization goal ceremony, but for hair. Finding individual
Wait, just so-
voices. and
Oh,
ways
I was
to
like, so
uniquely
you think-
express themselves.
You think we need to tell the barber how to do his job? A hard pass. Like, I think
No,
that
no,
guy
no.
is doing...
No, he's doing a great job. I think that he has nailed a way to create a unique sense of personality for each player in their haircuts, the same way we can create a unique sense of personality for some players.
Great. I really like... I like how hooked you are on this idea.
Yeah.
And that means we're going to have to make it happen.
Yep. I'm really running with it.
On the flip side of like individuality, talking about togetherness for a minute, have you noticed an increase in like vertical neck tattoos, like right behind the ears on some of our players?
So remember, I think it was during Charlotte, or it may have been a couple weeks ago, I said to you what is on their necks, because it looked like they all had the same tattoo or the same thing
Right.
on their neck. So yes, I have.
And so what, like, do you think they're getting them together? Do you think one person had it and they were like the rest of the group was like, yo, that looks kind of cool though? Like, because I noticed that
same way-
Jean and
It's the same way half of our team has dangly cross earrings now. I do think they are inspired by each other, and by each other I mean Seba.
Yeah, it was Seba and Maxi, right? Like they've got to be the ringleaders of this. Maxi's tattoos, like they seem pretty well established, but like Jean and Danny have like relatively newer vertical neck tattoos that I hadn't noticed before. Maybe they existed before, but I just hadn't ever noticed them. But I don't know. And I know Diego has a ton of tattoos. I don't know if that one is new, but like maybe it is.
What's the thing called when
I
you
don't know if
notice?
you're listening. Oh yeah, like when you buy a Volkswagen and then you see Volkswagens
Volkswagens everywhere. Is that
whatever.
confirmation bias? Something like that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it might be that we're noticing these tattoos because we've noticed them and now we're seeing them everywhere. But I don't know. I think it's got legs. I think it's a thing that's taken off.
I think so. I think it's a new thing that has only just happened, and we certainly didn't just now notice an old thing, and I am committing to it. Speaking of new things,
Oh yeah.
can we talk now about our new boy?
Yeah. Let's hear it for the
Because
boy.
It's new boy season, and we have
I don't
a
know
new
if
boy.
I like that.
It's too late. That's what we're calling the transfer window this year anyway. We will talk about it off the air, but for now, new boy season. That's what it's officially dubbed on Swoontower here. We have a new boy. His name is Washington Corozo, and he's so cute.
Yeah, he
Like-
really has a joy about him in the photos that we've looked at.
Yes. Also, I got to go to a media availability. Baby's first media availability. Swoontower's legitimizing moment.
Yeah.
And he is so charming. In the interview space, you could tell that like this is a kid who he's young, he's 23 years old, but he holds himself in a very media trained kind of way, which was super cool to see. Then as he started to get more comfortable by the end of the hour that I was there, like he started cracking jokes, he started smiling, he started being a little bit looser. You could tell he was starting to have fun. And
I
that
love that.
was really exciting. It was really exciting to see and really cool. And so we got a couple of Swoontower scoops
Ooh.
from our new boy. One of them is that he does not have any pets. And it sounds to me, and this is entirely inference and entirely speculative, and if it's not true, I'm sorry, but it sounds to me like he might be afraid of pets and not like I don't have pets because I don't like animals because I'm weird. But like I have a fear or whatever, because the rest of the interview process and everything, he was so nice and so kind, and like didn't strike me as a person who would be like, no, animals are disgusting. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So maybe I feel like if folks don't grow up with pets, there's definitely a barrier to, having that sort of
Becoming-
24/7. Yeah.
Yeah, becoming a pet person.
Right. And so I think we can, tentatively forgive him for not having any pets.
Yes, I think so too. I don't know how forgiven he'll be for not liking mate. We found that out in the interview process as well. Eric Goodman asked him his thoughts on mate, and he was very adamantly against it. For me, no, I don't. No. So I did hear Moontower's episode about their like bonus special episode about Washington today, where one of the questions was, who do you think Washington's best friend will be? And so knowing that he's not a big pets guy and that he doesn't like mate, I am going to rule out Diego,
Yes.
Maxi,
Yes.
and Seba off the
Yes.
bat for his
Yeah.
best friends. Just,
I'm
uh,
going Danny vibes.
honestly, I was thinking 23-year-old kid, speaks Spanish, like very fun. I think Danny is like up there, right?
Yeah.
The other person that I had as like my dark horse pick was Johan Valencia, because
Oh.
Johan seems like a family guy, right? And one of the things that we know about Washington is that his little girl, his baby, is like his whole world. He has like 4 saved stories on Instagram. 2 of them are goal celebrations, and one of them is his little girl. And so like those are my 2 picks, are Danny and Johan. Depending on, because Johan's, a first year in the country guy as well. And so I think there's going to be a little bit of like, hey, we're both new here. Like, can we buddy up and like figure this out together kind of thing,
Yeah. I hope that
And
for
so,
them.
or yeah. Because I think he does seem a little bit more outgoing, and so you might be right that it's Danny. It might be Danny. I'm talking myself into Danny.
We're just gonna have to wait and see.
I do think that Danny will be a really good pick for him, because one of the things that I asked him was, hey, do you have any like, do you speak any English yet? Right, we're talking in Spanish. I'm trying to do an interview in Spanish, even though I haven't like regularly spoken Spanish in years, right? But you could see as he was going down this line of reporters that the questions that were asked in Spanish, he was a lot more comfortable with.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm trying to like find that for him to like make him more comfortable with some of the like process of the day. Cause I feel like this must be kind of crazy, right? For anyone. And so I was asking him in Spanish, like, ¿tienes algunos frases en inglés? Like, do you have any English right now? Or like, what's your level of comfort with English? And he was like, yeah, I can say good and very good. So like, it was really funny. He was super funny about it. He was really like, very little English, And then he said, but I think that living here will give me a lot better chance to learn English, because I'll be surrounded by it all the time. And so he was really looking forward to that, which I think is a really cool thing to like see from players as they kind of are coming here for the first time.
Yeah.
And I think
I have high
Austin
hopes.
is such a good spot,
Yeah. I think it's going to be great. I'm excited to have him here, and I think we're going to see some good fun things.
Also, y'all peep his Instagram for real. I'm pretty sure he posted a picture of the first time he saw snow, and it's like the cutest thing in the whole world, because they played in Seattle for CONCACAF Champions League. And so there are pictures of him in the snow, and you can tell he's just like living his best life in it. I Googled before the show started to make sure that wasn't like a crazy thing, because Ecuador has the Andes in it, right? But also it's on the equator. And so I wasn't sure, like, do they get snow? And the answer is no, except for at the like 20,000 plus foot elevations in the Andes or whatever. So like the most people see it is like from afar,
Yeah.
So
I mean, I love
like
snow. I get it.
mountaineer.
All right. So that's our most exciting news. And that kind of overshadowed a lot of the social media that we have for this cycle. But we do have 2 main points that we want to talk about. Mike, do you want to take the first one and I'll take the second?
Yeah. Brad Stuver was nominated for like a huge award. And this is so cool and so deserved. He was nominated for the Muhammad Ali Sports Humanitarian Award. I can't think of a more deserving guy, at least on our team, if not in MLS, at least from like a visibility standpoint.
Ever, right?
Is that true?
I think that I read somewhere that he's the first MLS player to be nominated for this.
That's so awesome.
Yeah.
If he is, if that's true, which I have no reason to doubt, that's incredible, and it's so well deserved, and congratulations on the nomination. I've got my fingers crossed that he wins it, because he's the best. So
yeah, that's
big, good, important
news.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it's so much bigger than the sport. And it's one of the things that, for me, like, really makes me, like, behind Brad every time he takes the field, right? Those types of things and that type of behavior is something that I want to see our club lead in forever. And so having a player on our team that does that is just so cool.
And then there's our
What
other
was
piece of news.
the other one?
Which is our other piece of social media news is Danny made a new TikTok. It's still up.
Maybe we should have done this the other way around.
No, I stand by it. Danny made a new TikTok video, and you should follow him on TikTok. I'm not going to spoil the content of it, but it is still up there, so you can go check that out for yourself.
The final piece of social media related that anything that I want to cover is we had a question into the Moontower account about the smile on our new signing,
Yes.
Washington, and it's such a good smile. I am convinced
smile.
that this is part of the recruiting, like that they like they have, okay, so his speed attributes are this, and his finishing is here, and his physicality is here, and his face is here. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it's got to be part of the package at this point. Like, yeah, but what's his hair game like? You know, like, we just have so many attractive players on our team. There's no way at this point that it's a coincidence. I feel like it has to be part of the plan. Claudio's big plan is to, like, well, I mean, look at our coach. Like, we can't have, you know, a bunch of uggos running around the field. Like, what are we, Houston? You know what I mean? Like, they just...
Poor Houston. I won't go that far, but I am proud of how handsome our team is.
Yeah, that's a low blow on Houston. Houston catching strays out here.
Oh,
but
no. We can't help it.
Also, there are definitely some cute boys on Houston, but not nearly what we've got here in Austin. We are blessed with an embarrassment of riches.
Yes, we are. And that leads me to our final segment, the man of my jersey. And you know what? I'm just going to say it. The man of my jersey for the Swoontower cycle is Washington Caruso. He's the best player in the world. We're the best team in the world. He is going to win the World Cup, and no one can convince me otherwise. I don't want to hear anything from any trolls on the internet who are like, well, let's see him play before we judge him as a player. None of that nonsense,
Nope.
Please and thank you. I have
No need.
no
He's the
time for those
greatest.
negative vibes.
I can't wait
He's
for
the
him to win the
best.
Golden Boot. Yep.
King
A
of the
number
world.
one best player. King of the world. Just name him mayor of Austin already. Give him the key to the city. Give him the crown. You want my house, Washington? You got it, bud. Welcome to Austin.
Welcome to Austin. He's the man of my jersey this week, and I will appreciate none of your BS coming at me in the comments.
Y'all, thank you so much for listening this week. Again, apologies for the COVID prison planet situation that we have brewing here at the Croniola household, but we do appreciate you bearing through it with us. As always, rate, review, subscribe, tell all your friends, tell your family, tell your moms. I feel like this is
Moms
a
love
podcast
us.
for moms, dads, anybody who wants to appreciate the boys like we do.
Thank you all so
Thank
much
you.
for listening. We'll see you all next time.